as a surprise, because everyone thought I was going to win, all my family, friends, everybody had saved up all year to come out. So my brothers, my sisters, even my best friends from Australia who emigrated to Australia, they all saved up all year and came over to surprise me. And I placed, I think it was sixth. Yeah, I dropped from second to sixth. It was a shambles. It was just not a good showing, and I fell apart.
I want to look back because obviously winning the title was your career high, but there must have been some really dark times in those 9 years where you're seeing
Yeah,
your placings go in the wrong direction. Can you
yeah,
talk a little bit about how you got through those moments? Because as you've said, a
yeah,
lot of sacrifice, it's an incredibly selfish sport. There must
yeah,
have been moments where you just like, I don't know what to do. Can you describe how that was and how you got through it?
yeah. So there was two, or there was three, in fact, like pivotal moments. The main one will always stick in my head, and that's why I put a ring on my wife's finger. I get upset actually. Thinking about it, yeah, was 2017. It was basically the Olympia 2017. So I was second in the world. I was second in the Olympia in 2016. I just won the Arnold Classic, and I felt like the only thing I needed to do really was to live in America and be immersed in the pro leagues to take that title. So that's what we did. I took my girlfriend over at the time, and we literally set up overnight, 12 weeks before the Olympia, and it was just a whirlwind. Sold everything we had here, and set up in America, and didn't have anything over there. So it was a hard 12 weeks. We didn't have a house or a car or a gym to train out, food. It was one of those things where we just packed our bags, went, and then see what happens. And then, we went through that. And as a surprise, because everyone thought I was going to win, all my family, friends, everybody had saved up all year to come out. So my brothers, my sisters, even my best friends from Australia who emigrated to Australia, they all saved up all year and came over to surprise me. And I placed, I think it was sixth. Yeah, I dropped from second to sixth. It was a shambles. It was just not a good showing, and I fell apart because I was so embarrassed in front of my friends, my family, that they'd all saved up, they lacked their year's savings to be there to see me like basically fail. So it was a real hard time, and I literally went into a hole. And I've never felt like I didn't know how to get out of it. I kept trying to push through, kept trying to train, kept trying to keep myself busy and active. It just couldn't get out of it. And I was spiraling and stuff, and it just got to a point. It was Amy, my wife. She could see it, and she just basically, if it wasn't for her, she just said, "Look, we need to get out of here, as in America, because we weren't happy there." So she said, "We need to go back, immerse yourself around friends, family, around what you did." So the same kitchen I used to prep out of, and this semi-detached one, two up, two down house. Get back to your fit and sawdust roots of your training, and just get back to how you love it and stuff. And that's what she did. She made us come back. And it was such an amazing shift. I had 3 months of being in bed and just not wanting to do anything and just being very, and she just said, you either fight, you get up and fight, or you carry on being morbid like this and give up. And that's just not you, Ryan. And it just clicked like that. And that was a real dark time. So if it wasn't for her, I think, I'm not saying I wouldn't have got back. It was going the wrong direction there, because I felt I'd let everyone down. My life's career's over, it's done, that kind of attitude. And then the second time was a year after that, 2018. I tore the labrum in my hip. I was stupidly went with Conor McGregor's team, John Kavanagh, Owen Roddy, decided to go and do MMA 8 weeks out from the 2018 Olympia. And I tore, the leg came out the socket, went back in and severed the labrum. So I was on crutches. Yeah. So I did the Olympia, but that again, 6 weeks, I couldn't walk, so I couldn't train legs, couldn't train abs. So every morning I had to do ice detention to train my midsection. So I lost a lot of weight. If you see my 2017, 2018 physique, it lost a lot of weight because I couldn't physically do compound lifts or do any heavy lifting. And I had to stand in front of the mirror every morning, every night before bed, and just tense my abs, 3 seconds on, 3 seconds off, because it was the only way I could train my midsection. And it was just a brutal, brutal time. And then I ended up operating 2 days after stepping off the Olympia stage. And I was on crutches for 6 months. And that time, when you're on crutches and all you can see is the guys you're beating, so Brandon Hendrickson, never lost against him up until 2018. He then went and won the Olympia. They're all getting bigger. I'm getting smaller and disheveled. And mentally, that was probably one of the hard, from a career standpoint, was the hardest time of my life, because I just couldn't do anything about it. I had to just sit for 6 months and watch them take all the titles that I wanted and was working towards to get bigger and more defined and better. And the division evolved so quick in that time. And I was going the opposite way. And it took from 2018 to 2023 to get my size back to hold next to Brandon. And this was the first year I felt like I'd got enough size to hold next to him since 2018.